Hi guys, May Artist here. So I'm running the 1.5 pre-release, as you can see here, and I had an interesting idea for this. So it's a very interesting idea. I don't know. I'd like some of the other YouTubers to see this, so I thought I'd make a video on it. So we'll just call this 1.5 test. Darn it. Hold on. We'll just call it the 1.5 test world. So this has to do with the new TNT feature, and it's what was it? Yeah. So there are bits of code about TNT which I'd like to show off. So I'll just start like this. So I think most people think they know how blocks work, but the thing is that blocks are they're complicated. Okay, so let's just take your average grass block, and I'll take for demonstration's sake a fence and a dispenser and a sapling. So I like jungle saplings, so I work with them a lot. So let's say you have a grass block. So a block consists of three components. Okay, so there's the graphics component, that's what rendering is. That's what you can see. And then there's a mob component. So in this sapling, the mob component, oh darn lag. The mob component is completely separate from the graphics component. Like I can walk through the sapling even though I can see it, but for a block, I can't. Then there is the hitbox. So if I press this block, I can whack it. But if I whack outside that block, I'm obviously not going to destroy the grass block. So this fence has uh, um, obviously a graphics box which is exactly that big, and a hitbox which is similar. But the interesting thing is that the player manipulation box, which is the space it occupies in the physical world, like this sapling, even though I can walk through it, actually does occupy a physical space. Like I can't put a grass block on top of that sapling block. I can't have a sapling and grass block occupying the same space, obviously. Okay? Now, this occupies only one block of space, but as everyone knows, the entity collision file is 1.5 blocks high. So I'm about to show off what you can do with this. And just to forewarn you guys, this is going to be very what the heck? This is going to be very laggy because my computer isn't up to speed, but I still think that this is one of the most interesting things I've ever done. So as you can see, I'm using the new upright dispensers. Done. You know, oh, I need to do this differently. Like this. So yeah, okay, that works. So as you can see, this what? Hold on, guys. Yeah. So as you can see, this is occupying a certain space. So if you dispense TNT into that space, right? I mean, obviously it would blow up, but if you spawned, okay. So first, a few things about TNT. So there are three types of TNT um, within the game, I believe. There's the entity TNT, which is the one I'm holding, block TNT, which you can place, and the entity TNT, which is what the block TNT becomes when it is ignited. So the other thing I'm going to use this one is the weighted pressure plates. Now the interesting thing about weighted pressure plates, which it differs slightly from normal pressure plates, is that if I step on this weighted pressure plate, it doesn't send off a redstone signal. So this is used because if I stepped on this, it might activate one of these dispensers, which would cause imminent disaster, as I'm about to prove. So, with this weighted pressure plate, right, it will hold back the water. Now the interesting thing about TNT is, when TNT blows up, right, it will destroy a bunch of blocks around it. But that depends on what the block type is. So this fence, right, it would obstruct. And okay, another thing I must mention. So if the TNT here blows up and I'm standing behind, say, an obsidian shield, right, I won't be affected. I mean, I won't take damage, or if I do take damage, it'll be very much minimalized. So this fence here would only protect me from TNT. Would only protect me from a TNT blast within that fence's capability to defend me. So if I had a bunch of fences here and the TNT blew up, but it was above this, the TNT would blow up in my face and I would die, even though its entity reach is 1.5 blocks high. So the conclusion is basically that TNT will affect entities in the same way that it affects blocks. So if this fence block is 1 block high, right, and I'm standing such that I would be affected here, it will still cause me to take damage and knockback. Okay, so and it will cause it to take it through this pressure plate because this pressure plate is a transparent block, obviously. Okay, so the point is, if I take a bunch of TNT and I load it into this dispenser, and this is I think this is quite revolutionary. I mean, because there are TNT spawners. Okay. First of all, one thing I would like to point out, though I should have pointed this out at the start, is that all of this is being done in-game. I'm not using MC Edit, I'm not using any third party, I'm not using any mods. This is just the 1.5 pre-release by itself, okay? So, I think all of you can predict what's about to happen. I'll take this and Red Bull, because I like Red Bull. And I'll set up a rapid pulsar. Simple design. So, this is probably where the lag is gonna kick in. I'm warning you. Okay. Don't say I didn't. Okay. So, if you say powered all of these, wait, yeah. All right. So that's gonna power that. And it's gonna get powered by this, and this, and this. All right. So, see, I'll just play out the redstone first. So, if I do this now, I think you guys can predict what's going to happen. That's going to power all of these dispensers, which will dispense TNT mobs, entities, into this, which will then blow up. So, the next thing I'm going to show you is the interesting bit. So, actually, I'll just show you this first. So, I think you guys can tell what's about to happen. So, as you can see, TNT mobs are spawning, and they blow up, right? Now, watch this, okay? The entities are not escaping. They're not escaping and blowing up my world. But they can still affect me. Like, as you can see, I mean, despite the extreme lag, guys, I hope you can see this. So, as you can see, none of the TNT blocks escape. But as you can see, as I approached it, I got knocked back, right? So, now this will work wonderfully by splash potion spawners. But since I'm doing this in game, I'll have to show you using fire charges and arrows. So I'll set some. You know, I can't set it up here. Okay, so if I say set something up here, right, which would dispense lots of fire charges and arrows. Okay, and so if this mob thing, okay, I think you can tell it's about to happen. So I'm about to create a lot of mobs within this area which I'm looking at. And the TNT over here, with its knockback, will start blasting these a really long distance away. So I think my proof of concept here is really that it used to be that you have the TNT item, which you then place as a block, which then explodes after it becomes an entity, right? So the size of your explosion always depended on the size of your explosive material. Get it? So the bigger, look, basically, the more TNT blocks you have placed, the bigger the explosion is going to be, right? With some variations here and there, but that's the general concept, right? So if um now the thing is that basically that's no longer true. You can take the TNT entity, the TNT item within the dispenser, and completely bypass the block stage. You can basically create entities directly. So there is no block. There is no TNT block. You don't need a TNT block. What? Wait. Uh-oh. Is my bottom dispenser not getting powered? Oh no, it wasn't. Darn. Okay, hold on, guys. Where's my red? Where's my red? Oh, darn it. Okay, sorry. So, I hope whoever's watching this, I think Vex will know what to do with this if he hasn't discovered it already. Okay, but just to perhaps claim a little credit for coming up with this is amazing. Okay, I mean the knockback is immense. I will admit that the lag and entity count was very high, but I tell you, this thing, man, it's powerful. Okay, so let me just hook this up. Uh, ugly desert grass color. Okay, so I'm getting off topic. Um, so this is my point basically. You can create these mega cannons now. Okay, that that uh, this is just now. This is just one. This is just one feature of the pre-release. There are many more which I'm not covering at this point in time. But uh, I think this particular feature is one of the ones that map makers will be most interested in. This concept alone. Now, I have expanded this concept, even though I can't show you because of the massive amount of lag it creates. But I've created a concept, a cannon that uses this concept, and it basically carves a 100 block trench, 50 blocks deep in the landscape. That's about, and that will create holes at a range of about 300 blocks within the space of literally 30 seconds. So all this is loaded, so let's start it up. Okay, so as you can see, stuff is spawning, and as the TNT explodes, as you can see, stuff is being shot everywhere. Um, so the limited range, obviously, of this is that the arrows go in two directions like that, and the fire charges end up in a rather predictable location. And it runs out of ammo pretty quickly. But I think my concept is, hey, they changed the fire graph. Oh, okay, never mind. I think so. So I think my concept is proved that this is powerful. This is powerful beyond belief. Okay, that just this unit alone, water, fence, dispenser of TNT, and a non-mob activated pressure plate. It's I don't know. I mean, I can tell that a lot of evil things are going to be done with this. A lot of good things can be done too. So let me just talk a little bit more. So you can do this vertically as well, I believe. Though it might be a bit harder. Like, I don't think you can do it vertically, but if you can, I think you might need to use MC Edit for it, but like with edited ladders and so on. But if you can, right? I know what you can do with this. If you could spawn, and I know this was possible far before this. But if you could spawn falling sand entities with um, with lava IDs, basically spawns an entity such that when the entity hits the ground, it will turn into a lava block. You could create lava shooters, napalm firers. You know, I mean, stuff that literally shoots napalm, lava all over the place. I have done this like I mean, also with the rapid pulsar, which was obviously available before this. So this TNT blaster is amazing. Okay, so I'll leave the pros to deal with how to use the rest of this. And for now, that's all I have for you guys. Me Artis here. Bye.